Good afternoon, Malacanang Press Corps. Kasama na natin si Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo.
Good afternoon, MPC members. We'd like to condemn the assault on this Abante printing press shop. We cannot allow this thing to happen against any member of the fourth state. The President will certainly be directing a thorough investigation of this case, and we will prosecute those behind this Starley Act. We'll be issuing an expanded statement shortly.
MPC questions, Joseph? Questions?
So yun lang po sa Senate hearing on the emergency powers. Si Secretary Dugade is pushing for it, but the senators, including Senator Grace po, says it's not needed. Palace position, ipupush pa ba yan ni Presidente considering what was said before at medyo na-turn off siya doon?
Well, I think the position of the President remains, from the very start, he wanted the emergency power to solve the traffic problem mess. But when some senators issued statements against it and insinuated that there might be some abuse of power, he said, "Oh, sige, di kayo na lang. Let the EDSA run." In other words, the President wants to solve that, and he really needs emergency powers. Now, Secretary Tugade is pursuing it, but I understand some of the senators are for it. So let's see how it goes.
So President wants it and really needs it.
Well,
as you
ever
said.
since he wanted it, but kung ayaw niyo, diwag, sabi niya.
Sir,
In other words, he will not go down his knees and plead. They should know what the President needs in order to solve the problems of the country, specifically with respect to this matter.
sir, illustrate lang how the emergency powers will be helpful in solving the traffic mess.
Like, for instance, you can no longer file a petition for a TRO. That's one.
TRO on
Another,
right away.
huh?
TRO po on what?
Like, for instance, if there are some projects that require construction of any project that may help in the traffic problem, like when you want to open some roads in some areas which residents there might not want it. There are many things
Anything
that an
else? Sir?
emergency power can do to solve this problem.
Kasi sir, ang point yata sa Senate hearing is that if it is in relation to mga procurement, hindi naman daw kailangan ng emergency powers because madali naman yung procurement. So any other areas that the emergency powers will be able to plug in?
Hindi, yun sinasabi ko kanina.
Yung mga TRO, anything else, sir?
Pero I understand, isa lang naman yata senador kumukontra ngayon. I haven't heard of any other than the good Senator Grace.
Sabi daw, sir, hindi naman yata sinertify as urgent.
Kasi nga si Presidente, kung
Tinabangan
gusto
na.
nyo, okay. Kung ayaw nyo, diwag.
But will he, abot pa ba,
The
sir?
fact that he needs certified, mahala na. Kasi the assumption palagi is members of the Senate know exactly the problems of the land, and if they can help solve it together with the executive department, then they should.
All right, sir, thank you.
Okay, questions? Julie, paabot ang microphone.
But sir, given the gravity of the situation, as pointed out in a report yesterday that some patients are already dying while in transit to the hospital, yung sa mga nasa ambulansya.
That should be addressed to the members of the Senate.
Do you think that does the palace, dahil nga lumalala na yung sitwasyon, does the palace see the renewed push to certify this as urgent?
Precisely nga. Because of that, then with more reason that the members of the Senate consider the grant of emergency powers, given that particular situation wherein even patients are dying because the ambulance carrying them could not reach the hospital on time.
Sir, since given wala pa namang emergency powers na ginagrant kay President Duterte, ano pong call natin sa government agencies concerned to prevent it from further worsening given na ganito na umaabot yung
Meanwhile,
sitwasyon?
they should be creative. They should look for roads that are not traffic laden. Or perhaps they can use choppers for an emergency flight.
You're talking about emergency cases.
Yes, emergency case. Emergency case.
Just curiosity. Does the government have like facilities for that, like emergency choppers for available, readily available to the public, hindi lang yung mga VIP?
Well, we can always utilize the AFP with respect to choppers.
How do, sir, i-operationalize lang natin kung sakaling umabot sa ganun, how does an ordinary citizen go about that given na emergency situation siya?
Well, siyempre, the
Saan
hospital...
siya dadaan, sir?
Ang hospital lang. Kasi kung may ambulance, ibig sabihin, yung ordinary citizen, nakatawag niya sa ospital. Di ang ospital na magre-request.
This will...
But I think the Secretary of Health, as well as the Secretary of D&D, should be coordinating with respect to that.
This is the palace position, sir, or personal, niyo po? Are you...
That's my suggestion.
Okay. For government hospitals only, sir, of course.
Oh, even including private. If it concerns the lives of people, then we cannot be distinguishing whether it is public or private.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, questions? Henry, may tanong?
The incoming president who will be having his oath-taking? Akala ko oath-taking pa lang yan.
Yes.
O, hindi pa. Formality na lang yan. Okay.
Magandang umaga po, Secretary.
Magandang umaga.
Hapon na pala. How feasible yung air ambulance?
Hindi naman air ambulance, parang carrying the patient. Kasi pag sa ambulance naman, hindi ba, siniswero lang. Swero lang naman yun Papunta sa hospital. Kung ang problema mo traffic, hindi ka makarating sa hospital, baka naman chopper pwede within minutes.
Kailangan po bang i-prioritize itong proposal na ito ng Department of Health?
Well, kung ganun kaselan ang problema, then DOH should initiate it.
Do we have sufficient fund for that?
Bakit naman I think it's just a question of the Secretary of Health calling the Secretary of D&D and agree on a modus vivendi how to do it.
Okay, so ito ay para sa mga government hospitals pa lamang.
Sa lahat, kung talagang ganun kaselan.
Pero hindi ba ito, Secretary, parang hopeless measures naman? Sapagkat kagaya niyan, yung emergency power could be one solution, pero ayaw nga ng Senado. So wala na bang iba talagang
Hindi
solusyon?
naman yata ayaw ng Senado. Baka naman isa, dalawa lang. Sa Senado naman, majority rule.
So umaasa pa ho ang Malacanang na mapagbibigyan ito ng Senado?
Siyempre, we always hope of the best.
Okay, Julie.
Thank you.
Ay, sorry, anyway. Julie.
Sir, sorry. In other countries kasi, there are parang tinatawag na air ambulance. Do you see it feasible in the case of the Philippines to adopt this kind of facility para habang Para
Siguro the DOH should consider that too in relation to public service. Perhaps they should include that in the next budget, or they can ask the help of the other agencies that can buy them choppers to be converted into an ambulance chopper.
Okay, questions, MPC? No more? Raymond Tinasa.
Hindi nyo naman pinag-isipan.
Bagong gupit.
Siyempre, Paildon eh. Speaking of Paildon, hindi nyo naman naisip na italaga si Paildon sa MMDA, sir.
Ano na?
Hindi nyo naman naisip na italaga nyo si Yosek Paildon sa MMDA.
Gusto mo sabihin, naiisip mo yan?
Baka bahala kayo. Para mawala rin yung mga sakyan sa
Hindi, alam mo nga, with respect to that nga pala, no? Kasi meron nag-text sa akin kanina o kagabi. Meron daw interview si Presidente about Peldon na he's not inclined. In fact, I asked him last night I told them na kinukulit ako na ninyo na tinatanong ko ano ba talaga. And I told him na, sabi ko, for all we know, he doesn't even want to be reappointed. The President agreed, oo nga. For all we know, ayaw niya.
Sir, going back sa traffic sa EDSA, do you think na sadyang naubos na at nagawa na lahat ng MMDA and other concerned agencies yung dapat nilang gawin at ipatupad para maibsan yung traffic congestion sa EDSA?
Sabi nila, di ba, maraming mga proposals. In fact, marami akong itinapon sa kanilang proposal. Namin dumarating na proposal from private citizens. Pinapasa namin sa kanila kung ano-ano mga proposal yun. Oh, syempre, alam nga namang nandun lang sa lamesa namin yan.
Sir, kasi wala halos yung panukala na using of air ambulance parang suntok sa buwan dahil yung mismong Air Force nga kulang-kulang sa air assets. How much more if we deploy sa emergency situations yung air assets ng Air Force natin. So, hindi ba dapat mas higpitan pa nila yung pagpapatupad ng mga batas trapiko at yung disiplina sa mga nasa kalsada?
Kasama lahat yun. Dapat talaga, lahat tayo may disiplina from motorists, policemen, traffic enforcers. Lahat yung kailangan mag-cooperate tayo. Ako, hindi na ako dumadaan sa EDSA. Kaya hindi na ako nata-traffic. I go to Makati, I take the Mandaluyong route. I reduce 30 to 40 minutes by using that. Going there and coming back. Alam niyo ba yung rotang yun? Diretso lang yung Makati Ab. Tapos you'll be crossing Shaw. O tapos nasa San Juan ka na kagad. O, ang bilis
So, sir, what happened to the proposals you said that you suggested to MMDA? It ended in deaf ears?
Ewan ko kung anong ginawa nila. Basta, nasa ka-MMDA naman yun. Dapat siguro imbitahan natin si chairman. O kaya yung GM nila.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, MPC, may tanong pa
Teka
kayo?
muna. Bukas pa pala may bisita. Akala ko ngayon. Bukas may bisita tayo. Basta bukas. Legal. Surprise. Sir, si Kamelan ba to? Hindi, we will give a portion of our press briefing to one particular office. Nakikiusap. Hindi, palagi nagpe-press con yan. Hindi rin. Surprise.
Question, MPC, Joseph. Question, Joseph.
GOCC. Sir, comment lang, kasi apparently dun sa listahan ng mga GCTA, mga pinalabas sa GCTA, parang ang mga nauuna yung mga maximum pa, kasi yung mga minimum na konti-konti na lang yung bubunuin. So, to you, what does it mean? And do you think this is parang medyo nakakaduda na practice? Na
I'd rather wait for the investigation. Maganda yung ginagawa na investigation ng Senado. Ang daming naglalabasan.
Joseph? Other issue na. May follow-up sa GCTA. Maricel Halili.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, just to follow up, ano po yung nasabi ni Presidente tungkol dun sa scrapping of GCTA? Because yesterday we asked you kung do you mean na dapat ibasura na lang yung GCTA for
Hindi
clarity?
namin napag-usapan yun kasi madalian yung parang dumaan lang. Tapos diretso na. Hindi yan, tagal namin doon sa state di na nagantay pagdating ng dalawa.
Okay.
Kasi nag-tet-a-tet pa sila.
Pero, so meaning ngayon, amendment pa rin lang yung hinahabol ng Malacanang?
Hindi, kung ano yung sinabi ni Secretary Guevara, unang-una, di ba sabi niya, yung implementing rules and regulation must be changed. Kasi nakapasok doon yung heinous crime na dapat na hindi. That's one.
And then?
O edi, di ba sabi ni Secretary Guevara, sinuspindi niya na muna? Sinuspindi niya muna yun eh.
Okay.
So antayin natin kung anong next move ni Secretary Guevara.
Alright, thank you,
Okay,
sir.
Ace?
Kuha lang ako nung statement yun dun sa Ombudsman suspension of 27 corrections officials in connection with the supposed GCTA for sale
Yes.
controversy. Ano yung take nung palasyo dito at ano yung expectations nyo?
Ay, hindi ba sabi ni Presidente mulat sa puli, dapat i-refer sa Ombudsman para it will conduct its investigation and apparently they found probable cause, hence the suspension of 27 officials of that office.
So how is Malacanang taking this development?
Oh, what do you mean, how? Si Presidente nga nag-refer sa kanila, hindi dapat welcome lahat yun.
Ano yung ine-expect nyo given na nagsisimula na yung process na to and na-suspend na yung 27 officials?
Well, the expectation is we want the truth on the matter in the Bureau to come out so that heads will roll.
Okay, Sec.
Okay. Questions? Joseph?
Yung comment sa kay Sabio po, mukhang medyo hindi sila nagkakasundo ni former Senator Trillanes. You know the issue?
Not really. Very hazy yung issue.
Okay,
But it's between him and Sabio.
okay,
Ano ba
background.
sinasabi ni...
Kasi
Attorney
sir,
Sabio?
parang naniningil ng 700,000 and from former Senator Trillanes, si
He was
Sabio.
employed by Mr. Trillanes?
Yun yung sinasabi niya. Pero ang agreement by nilang dalaw initially, according to Senator Trillanes, is that pro bono yun when he represented Matabato.
But I understand he admitted having given 35,000.
May parang meron yata siyang monthly na 30 to 10. But he's after the 700,000. And aside from that, he's saying now that Senator Trillanes is involved in the Bicoy video, which the senator denies. So, with regard to that specific aspect of the involvement of Senator Trillanes in the Bicoy video, your comment and then your comment on the TIF.
First, according to Mr. Trillanes, it's pro bono, and yet he admits having paid him 30,000 plus. So, that removes the pro bono aspect. Number two, as to the claim of Mr. Sabio, I watched that particular interview. Parang sinasabi nilang he was only speculating na he might be involved. And his reason is, why is he getting me as his lawyer for this man if he's not involved? That's the reasoning of Mr. Sabio. So, we don't know how true it is.
So in terms of credibility, does it speak of each side's credibility in terms of the relationship now?
Well, for one, only with respect to the Mr. Trillanes claims it's not it's a pro bono, and yet he admits that he pays 30,000 plus. O edi mas credible yung isa kasi sabi niya, no, I've been employed, kaya ako naniningil. Mas credible ngayon yung isa with respect to that aspect. With the others, hindi ko alam.
Parang ayun yung pong...
Hindi, kasi sinasabi mismo kasi ni Mr. Sabio, ang impression niya. Oh, so hindi natin alam. In other words, he is only speculating also.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
MPC, wala na kayong tanong? Si Belia. Microphone, please.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, i-follow ko lang po yung tungkol sa African swine fever. This early,
African
sir...
swine?
Fever, sir.
Fever,
Sir, this
flu.
early, nanghihingi na ng tulong yung mga hog raisers natin. So, meron po bang inihahandang assistance ang gobyerno para sa mga affected hog raisers in case na hindi talaga
Hindi ba, I
masawatan?
think he already announced it. Nakita ko na naman kanina, parang inulit eh. Sabi niya, the department is giving 3,000 and yung local governments can also add to the 3,000. And I also read about his statement that only 3 areas are affected. Rodriguez, Antipolo, and one in Bulacan. I forgot the name in Bulacan.
Sir, sir,
So,
are,
confined lang naman, limited
so
lang
are you
naman.
confident, sir? Kasi marami tayong mga provinces na ang kanilang business is yung hog race, like sa...
As I said,
sa Cebu.
according to Mr. Secretary of Agriculture, there are only 3 places affected. And he is confident that it will not affect the safety of our people in eating this. In fact, they showed us that they were eating it.
So yung 3,000 in case...
Ako, kumain na naman ako kanina ng karne.
Sir, yung
Kalimutan.
3,000 in case na hindi pa siya enough, yung government is willing to provide more for the hog
Sinabi na
raisers.
nga ni Secretary Agriculture, yung on top of the 3,000, baka yung mga local governments would want to add. Saka unang-una nga, kung 3 lang ang affected, di yung lahat ng areas hindi apektado, ba't ka magbibigay ng 3,000? Di doon lang sa lugar na apektado.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Rose, and then Raymond. Last 2 na tayo.
Ay, sir, good afternoon.
Rose.
Ay, sir, kahapon yung pagdating po ni Singapore Prime Minister Halima Yacob, President, sorry. Sir, yung mga batang ginamit para salubungin siya, nabasa po ng ulan at ilang oras pa po bago sila napauwi yata o nasundo. May practice po ba o may policy ba yung palasyo na gumamit ng mga bata tuwing may bisita
Hindi
yung
ko alam
palasyo?
kung whose idea was that.
Basang-basa po yung mga bata kahapon, hindi po sila pinasilong. Hanggang dumating po yung presidente ng Singapore.
Hindi ko alam. Ano bang mga eskwelahan yun?
Public schools po, Pio del Pilar Elementary School at saka Dr. Celedonio.
Ay, wala Secretary Briones.
Opo. Minsan naman po, pag hindi naman sila nauulanan, naaarawan naman ng ilang oras po sila dito sa may kalye. Bakit po naging patakaran ng
I
palasyo
don't
yung
know.
paggamit ng mga bata?
What I know is when we visit foreign countries, yun din ang nakikita ko.
Pero hindi po sila pinauulanan, saka pinaaarawan.
Baka naman kung nagkataon naman na biglang umulan. Aksidente lang naman siguro. Yun.
Pero dapat po may contingency plan po
Siguro,
tayo para
I agree.
sa mga bata.
I agree with you. I'll ask Secretary Briones.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And that should be a lesson.
Thank you.
Last question na tayo. Raymond. Paabot ang microphone.
Wala si Pia. Sabi ni Dr. Panelo, kasi nire-replay pala ito. Sa gabi. Tama, nag-flip kami, biglang, Tapos sabi niya, para palang classroom kayo dyan. Meron mga kakurol call dyan eh. Anyway.
Raymond.
Sir?
Sinabi ko na nga, di ba?
Sir, just quick 2 shots. Sir, your statement or position to the recent suicide bombing in Indanan Sulu by a female suicide
Yeah,
bomber.
we're issuing a statement on that.
And your statement also reaction to the statement by the military that 2 more suicide bombers are on the loose. So is this a concern to be
It's a
alarmed?
matter of concern, of course. Anything that would show a rise in terrorism in any area of this country is always a matter of concern. And we hope our security will improve more on their devices to stop this. But you know, sometimes if it's a suicide bomber, parang ang hirap din. I'm sure they're doing everything to stop it.
And also, last your statement, sir, the Syrian District Criminal Court already handed or convicted the suspect, yung nagsilid, pumatay at nagsilid ng OFW na si Joanna Di Mafelis sa Kuwait. How are you receiving this development? Yung nasa isinilid sa freezer na naging meat sa
Sa Syria?
Yes, sir.
Sa Kuwait.
Sa Kuwait, pero sa
Kuwait?
Syrian national kasi ito. So sa Syrian court, he was convicted guilty of murder.
I haven't read or
And I am
heard
telling-
about it, but
I'm sharing you now,
coming
sir.
from you, then we welcome the news, which means that justice has been meted to the culprits, to the killers.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, no more questions? Birthday girl, Jenaline Cavite.
Whose birthday?
Si Jenaline po, September 8, nag-birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And then Maricel Halili bukas, sir. Birthday ni Maricel Halili tomorrow.
Also? Wow. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Maricel.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Secretary. Thank you,
Dahil bukas wala tayo, kaya ngayon na.
Okay, thank you, MPC. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.